Okay, let me keep reading. All right. So this mystery, this thing about the Gentiles being included, what I call, in this intimate relationship with God called sonship. You heard me say this before, and I'm trying to move. Under the Jerusalem church, underneath the Jerusalem administration, we're talking about Peter and those individuals. They established deacons. You don't hear nothing about even elders and sons of God until we get Paul. And Paul is the least likely individuals that want to be dealing with any Gentiles unless he's been changed. See, when you really get changed, something in your appetite about who's worthy to hear my good news changes also. All right, okay. Where are you going with this? 1 Timothy chapter 3. Keep going. 1 Timothy chapter 3. 1 Timothy 3, 3:16. All right. We got another mystery. Great is the what?
Great is the mystery of godliness.
Great is the, say with me, mystery.
Mystery.
Mystery. All right. We're stewards of the mystery. Gentiles was a mystery. This thing called sonship was a mystery. This thing called inclusion was a mystery. Now it says, great is the mystery of what?
Godliness.
That who? That God was. Who was?
God was.
Who was that?
Jesus.
But it says it was God.
Right?
Right? God, in the form of Jesus, was manifested in the flesh. Right? Keep going.
Justified in the Spirit.
Justified in the Spirit. Right?
Seen of angels.
Seen of angels.
Preached unto the Gentiles.
Right?
Believed on in the world.
That's right.
Received up into glory.
Right? Okay. We're talking about Jesus, right? Jesus was the manifestation of the Word of God in the earth realm, and he's the one that God spoke out of heaven and said, I'm in him, and I'm pleased to be in him. All right, so God is pleased to be walking around in you and I in the earth realm. Well, what is he doing? He's trying to convince people around us that it's him at work in you and I.
Right.
All right, so when we step into a room, God has just manifested himself in the flesh. I know they said, you trying to say that we're God? I said, we're the sons of God. Huh? So God is well pleased with us. He's well pleased to be within us, right? Keep going. I'm in 1 Corinthians chapter 15 now. I'm getting there. All right. 1 Corinthians 15. Y'all quiet on me. Does that mean y'all listening? Yes. All right. 1 Corinthians 15. All right, let's start at verse 45. Please, sir.
And so it is written that the first man, Adam, was made a living soul. The last Adam was made a quickening spirit.
Right.
Howbeit, that was not first which is spiritual, but that which is natural.
Okay.
That which is spiritual.
Okay.
The first man is of the earth, earthly. The second man is the Lord from heaven. As is the earthly, such are they also that are earthly, and as is the heavenly, such are they also that are heavenly.
All right, so he's talking about a transformation, right? He's talking about the first Adam, the second Adam. And you're both, right? You are the first Adam that's housing the second Adam. Is that correct? All right, your first Adam is kind of what? Soulish. Yeah, your second Adam is, all right, verse 48. So your first man or your first Adam is earthly, right? And your second one is heavenly. 49 says you have what? And then you shall also bear the? All right, so I would be telling myself, I'm going to start looking more like him any day now. Right? I've been bearing this earthly kind of image, persona, reputation, all of that. All right? But I'm also going to bear this new image, right? Now, how's it going to happen? Keep reading. Says,
Now I say, brethren, that flesh and blood cannot inherit the kingdom of God.
okay.
Neither doth corruption inherit incorruption. Behold, I show
Uh-oh.
you a mystery.
What's the word again? A mystery. Right? We shall. When he says sleep, what is he suggesting? But we're all going to be changed. All right? So some of us are going to be changed because of a death experience. And some of us are going to be changed because of a death experience. Right? Some of us are going to be changed because we're going to experience a physical death. Some of us are going to be changing because we're going to experience a soul death. But we're all going to be changed. I'm suggesting that while we're here, why not be changed now? If it's possible. And look at what God says. How long is it going to take? It's in the next verse. How long? Wait a minute. Just that quick. I can shift what I'm being influenced by. Y'all not feeling me. Come on, don't you come on, tell your neighbor. You see that? Come on. Did you can you hear how quick that in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, you can be adjusted, you can be transitioned. Paul had this experience called a trans. How long did it take? Just like that. Huh? Well, why does it take us so long to get adjusted? I mean, stuff we've been carrying for years. Why does it take so long for some stuff, for us to just get over some stuff? Because we don't want to see him about it. Huh? We don't want to see him about it. Because you know what? Some conversations, think of some of the stuff you really should be telling him. And he looking like, for real, dog, for real. This is what you want to say? This is what you really want to communicate? I mean, out of all the things you could be asking me about, this is what you want to spend these precious moments in my presence talking about? Boy, y'all quiet on that. But tell your neighbor, only take a moment. Well, look at John chapter 1. Gospel of John. Okay, John 1. John 1. Verse 18.
No man has seen God at any time.
That's right.
The only begotten Son, which is in the bosom of the Father, he hath declared him.
Okay, so Jesus said, nobody's really seen God. And I'm where? Where did Jesus say he was? He's the only begotten, and he said something about where he was. What does that mean? He's talking about, you think it's a place called the bosom? Y'all, yes, come on. What do y'all say? Is Jesus saying he's in a specific place in God, in his bosom? Or he's talking about the intimacy, the proximity with having his hand on the pulse in the heart of God? He said he was there. Now he said he was there, but God said he was here. So Jesus is not speaking anything different than what the Father is saying. So here's my question. Do you talk like him? Do you say things about yourself other than what God says about you? Okay. We threw this out Wednesday night. The Bible said, can two walk together except they be? How long does it take to come in agreement with God? Well, in a moment, in a twinkling of an eye, we can be changed. So if it's not happening like that, who's in the way? And the answer is... You there? Okay. So watch this. You ready? I'm in the gospel, the epistles of John now. 1 John 3. 1 John 3. You got it, sir? Probably all of them. Let's start with one. Behold,
what manner of love the Father hath bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God.
Okay, hold that. Go back now to John chapter 1, Gospel of John, the same writer, and I believe it's verse 10. Okay. That's right. In the world. Keep going.
And the world was made by him, and the world through him not.
Uh-huh.
He came unto his own, and his own received him not.
Right.
But as many as received him, to them gave he power
Okay.
to become the sons of
All right. Receive. Okay. I've got to receive this relationship called sonship. Okay. So what did Paul do to have this schematic? Right? We said Paul got revelation of this transfiguration experience. He understood that he was specifically given this revelation to help a people that had no history of walking with God, a revelation. So what did he do? Well, in Acts 11, it tells us what he did. He came up among them, and he started massaging a cord that was in him. He said, did you ever notice that there was a grace on the inside of you? Did you pay attention that there was something that was stirring on the inside? He said, I perceive that there's a grace on the inside of you. There's some divine, inherent, innate ability on the inside of you. And if you would just tie yourself to it, if you would just come in agreement with it, if you would just feel out or just begin to walk in this thing, say, you know what? You will discover who you really are in God. That's where the conversation begins. And guess what? As he started massaging that thing on the inside of them, it took them a year. 1 year. And the people that came around the next year said, boy, them are Christians.
Okay.
What if it just takes somebody reminding you of what that innate thing on the inside of you that God, and just massage it and just speak to it and just develop it and just remind you of who that is and get you to come in agreement. He said, if you just cleave to this thing, if you hold on to this, versus all the other stuff we really want to hold on to, right? Just hold on to this, all right? So he said, beloved, now are we, read it again, 3:1. Yep, I'm back there already. To many is received, and to them gave he power to become the sons of God. So part of my hindrance, part of my delay, part of this thing in me that's really not connecting in that moment is I don't know if I receive it. I don't even know if I believe it.
True.
I don't know how to come to church without a problem. I really don't know how to really go to the altar and lay it all down. I sing the song, but I ain't never laid nothing all the way down. I would not know how to operate casting all my cares on him. That's real, isn't it? Huh? I don't know what to worry about. I don't know what I would do with the rest of the day because most of my day is full of what's wrong. Right? So I'm asking you, maybe we need to receive different. Maybe we need to understand the intimacy of this relationship and fill up ourselves with what he says about us. Keep reading. I'm back to 1 John now.
Beloved, now are we the sons of God,
Right?
and it doth not yet appear what we shall be.
Yeah.
For we know that when he shall appear,
Uh-huh.
we shall be like him.
Okay. All right. So look at the intimacy of the relationship. It doth not yet appear what we shall be. So here we are navigating in the earth realm. Remember now, we're going through this transformation. Our soul man is becoming less and less, and our spirit man is going to be great. How am I going to get to this? I got to look for his appearance.
Okay.
Right? I've got to have some kind of expectation that he's going to show up where I am or not show up where I am, that I'm going to get to where he is and he's on the inside of me. I've got to make a connection with my spiritual man on the inside of me and say, you know what? You've got history with him. Huh? I've got tenure with God. This is not a new relationship. I just become too earthified. Say with me, earthified. Huh? I've been so conditioned by the earth, I act earthly versus acting heavenly. But my heavenly one is in there. I just need to tap in. Tell your neighbor, I got to tap in. All right? So, let me get this one here. All right, I'm in still 1 John chapter 4. Look at verse 17.
Herein is our love made perfect, that we may have boldness in the day of judgment, because as he is, so are we in this world.
As he is, so are what?
We.
So God needs us to be as he is in this world. All right? So if we leave here, and I'm telling you, I understand it. There's a whole lot of folk checking out of the earth room every day because the Bible said for fear of all those things that are coming upon the world. I don't think all of them are leaving here because they're diseased or they're sick or they're afflicted. Some are just saying, I'm out. You ever thought about that one? Today, I'm out. Right? But he needs somebody in the world that looks like him and operates like him. And I'm saying, why can't that be us? All right? Why can't we say, you know what? There are people in the earth realm that need to see the treasure hidden on the inside of us, and I'm needed in the earth realm to bring clear declaration of who he is in me.
Right.
So what does that happen? I've got to allow myself to be changed. What's going to change me? I've got to desire his presence. Psalms 27. All right? Where are we? We good? Time-wise, y'all ready to throw me out? David is he's a phenomenal general. He's a phenomenal military man. He is a phenomenal intercessor. He is a phenomenal worshiper. He is a phenomenal king. He has been entrusted with what I call the schematic, the blueprint, the inner workings, and all this. But you know what David says? There's really only one thing on my list. Woo, glory, I like that. I like it. I like everything about it, right? He starts off by saying, he said, I want you to understand that the Lord is my light and my salvation. I don't fear. And I've been in some difficult situations. And let me tell you what preserved me in some of those difficult situations. The Lord. He is the strength of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? He said, when even came up, keep reading, when the wicked, even my enemies, my foes, they came upon me to eat my flesh. I mean, they were deliberately, intentionally trying to do away with me. And guess what happened? You want to know why? Because I knew who was with me. They stumbled. Y'all didn't hear me. I don't know what they working on with your account, but they gonna stumble. See, you have to be careful when you start messing with God's kids. Huh? See, my mama said there are three things you're not gonna touch: my husband, my money, and my kids. Right? My mama, you know, she's sure little one. She would fight you. Right? I got a sister that inherited that mantle. I didn't have to fight. She fought on my battles for me. And I was a little skinny kid, pimple face. I just backed up, handling. Right? So David, even though he was a man of war, he knew that nobody could win the battle like God can win it. I mean, they stumbled. I'm trying to tell you that when you understand who's in you and where you are placed, there's no weapon formed against you is going to prosper. There is nothing the enemy that can do to you that God did not allow to come nigh your dwelling. And if God allowed it to come nigh your dwelling, it's not going to destroy you. It's going to make you worship. Okay, keep reading. Though
a host should encamp against me, my heart shall not fear.
In this will I be.
Though war should rise against me.
The war should rise against me. See, I don't know who I'm feeling in the room. It's like all this stuff you're looking at, like a pile of insecurity, a pile of debt, a pile of things you need to decide about. And you know what? I would be looking at that mountain to say, you know, the war should rise against me. I'm confident in my relationship with him. Huh? Though all this stuff seems to be mounting up in my presence, and I can't see my way through, but I do see him. Right? One thing. What? I just got one thing that I have desired of the Lord. Come on, tell your neighbor, just go after the one thing. Just go after the one. One thing have I desired of the Lord, and that will I see. I put my energy. God, I don't need you to pay the bill. I just want to be found in you. And you know, and if you set your on that, if you seek first the kingdom of God, if you set your affections on earthly things, don't you know that your daddy in heaven is going to settle all this other stuff going on with you? Do you believe it? You got to receive that. Tell your neighbor, he's got you. He's got you, and he's got the situation. One thing have I desired of the Lord, that also will I seek after, that I just want to dwell. I just want to dwell. I just want to dwell. You know, and when you understand the dwelling place, it's like you got the sign hanging out, do not disturb. Huh? Don't bother me. Don't call me. Don't ask me nothing. You know, and I know that sounds like insensitive, but when you found that secret place, huh? And it's peaceful there. So here's the question. Why do you ever leave the peace? If he's in you and you in him, you never have to leave that. You never have to leave the spirit or the attitude of that place. He said, look, this is what I'm leaving you. In the world, you're going to have tribulation, but I want you to be of good cheer. I have overcome the world, and I'm going to leave peace with you. You can be in hell in peace. Peace. Tell your neighbor, I'm going to give you something today. Peace. And then said, now be still. Just like that. Said, I know you needed a shot today. Jesus said, peace I'm going to leave with you. He said, not like the world gives, but said, I'm leaving peace because I want your joy to be full. Huh? I want you running over. I like it when you are happy. And that doesn't mean everything is going all right, but your state of being, you're happy and you smile. Huh? Tell your neighbor, fix your face every now and then, baby. Just kind of fix your countenance. It ain't sour like that all the time. Come on. Just tell them to adjust your mug a little bit. Huh? I mean, smile like you really know God, like we say we know him. Right? So God is here. God is dwelling on the inside of us. God is moving in the midst of us. So why is our countenance so low? As if we've lost confidence in God's ability to do it. Look, he's never failed. No, he's never failed. Now, he might leave us hanging for a moment. But he's never failed. He's never not come through at the right time. So why don't we trust that he is really for us? Tell your neighbor, I need you to adjust your prayer list tonight. Just put one thing on there. Let me dwell. Let me dwell. And that'll settle and cover everything else going on with you. Just let me dwell. Let me dwell. Paul said, 2 Corinthians chapter 4, he said, henceforth is laid up for me a crown of righteousness that the Lord is going to give me. But not just to me only, but to them that love his appearing. I love it when he shows up. I love when we can tangibly feel his presence and glory in the midst of it. And you know what? Even if he's not doing anything for me, I just want to be in the midst. Huh? Just want to be in the atmosphere. In the atmosphere. See, that's what David said. You say, you know what? I'd rather be the doorkeeper. Service could be going on with everybody else in the room, but let me stand at the door. Why are you saying that? Just to behold the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his temple. You know, I'm talking about the residue of glory. You know, when Isaiah talks about how his train filled the temple, you at the door, don't you think the train reaches the back door where you're standing? I'm talking about the glory of his presence. What has happened in us believers that, you know what, it's not just about the corporate gathering. It's about the opportunity, the potential, and the ability that we have to look upon his face. Yeah, on your feet. On your feet. Yeah. One thing, God. One thing. I had been entrusted with a mystery. The mystery that just as God was in Christ, he's now in me. He wants to reconcile the world back into himself. Everywhere I go, I bring people into the knowledge of God in the person, in the face of Jesus Christ. I've got a treasure in earthen vessel. The Bible said, and the excellency may be of God and not of us. God, and I know that this duty, this call, this responsibility is weighty. But God, when I consider what you said, not many wise, not many mighty, but the weak things, the base things, the things that are not. You didn't call the noble. You called weak things, broken things, base things. Your word declares, and you did that so that no flesh would be able to glory in your presence. God, obviously, when we do inventory within ourselves, there is nothing we can glorify about. There is nothing we can say we did this, and it was our strength, it was our might, it was our wisdom, it was our ability. It's been you all along. God, though the weight, the responsibility, and the duty that we carry means that there's so many souls that you're requiring us to touch and reach out to and share. But God, it's not a burden. It should be joy. God, we love your appearing. We want to do the David. We want to dwell in the house of the Lord all the days of our life. To behold your beauty and to be able to inquire in your temple. For David said, for in the time of trouble you hide us in the secret of your tabernacle, and said, you set us on a rock. You cause our heads to be lifted up above our enemies. David said, therefore I will offer in this tabernacle sacrifices of joy. Yea, I will sing praises unto God. And God, you know it's true. We had fainted unless we had believed to have seen the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living. So you know what, God? This is what we're going to tell our brother. Wait on the Lord. Be of good courage. He's going to strengthen your heart. So God, we're waiting. We want to see you as you are, that we might become just like you in a moment. In the twinkling of an eye, we accept the change. Come on, just breathe that in. Just, yeah. Glory. Glory.